Funk Flex, Hot 97. Only joke, I know you. Pep Talk UK. Pro Beez. I'm delighted to be joined once again by my comrade, Dean Whyte. How you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm doing well now. It's good to catch up. It seems like we're doing this weekly now. It's mad.
Yeah, it's a good look, man. It's a good look.
Yeah. So I saw you on last week, Friday night, Next Gen show at York Hall. Fantastic night of boxing, but we witnessed the Battle of the Blue Borough. How did you see that fight between Craig Richards and Andre Sterling? Cracker, wasn't it?
Nah, listen, the whole card was a good card. There was loads of good fights. Definitely went there to support my boy Craig. You know what I mean? We went out after to eat after the win. I had a few choice words from him. You know, it was a good fight, but you know, I believed he could have got the stoppage in that fight. You know what I mean? He had Sterling hurt, but Sterling's desire, heart, and will came through. You know, so we got to give him credit for that. But Craig's experience should have told. You know, as a man who's been there on many occasions, done 12 rounds, seen it, done it, he should have been able to get the stoppage. He had him hurt. He was breathing really, really hard. But you know what? Like I said, credit to him, man. He done good to see the last belt. I just felt like Craig should have went to the body a little bit more and double jabbed, and I think he would have seen him off. I think he would have got a stoppage, you know what I mean? But that rivalry was intense. You saw it even spread on into Buatsi, you know what I mean? Sterling was, you know, chomping at the bits, talking his mouth off a little bit too much, talking about the British champion where he was fighting a man that was, you know, just a little bit under, and he should have been concentrating and saving his energy for him.
You mentioned Joshua Buatsi, the British light heavyweight champion. Now potentially, well, it is going to happen. Craig Richards versus Joshua Buatsi. Mouth-watering prospect, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what though? They know each other. They're somewhat friends, I guess. I'd like to see Craig go his own way personally, though. You know, I'd personally like to see Buatsi vacate and go after something else and let Craig go and do his thing. You know what I mean? It's a tough fight. You know, Craig's a very slick, good boxer, but he doesn't have that killer instinct, and I think that's what let him down actually the other night. He doesn't have that killer instinct like Buatsi. Buatsi has a killer instinct. Once he's got you hurt, you best believe he don't mind taking a few shots to land his devastating shots, you know. And I think that was what was missing for Craig. It would definitely be a great fight, but I think for me, the way you get ahead in this game is sometimes being smart and playing the right chess moves, you know what I mean, and not doing head-on collisions. So if I was his manager, that's what I'd try to do. I'd try to navigate him into a different position, or navigate him for the belt, but not fighting Buatsi, fight someone else, you know.
We got to commend Craig Richards for his granite chin.
As well, listen, as well, he took some lever, and he, you know, to be honest, he actually said that he doesn't think Sterling punches that hard. He said there was just nothing in it. So I was wondering why he kept, you know, walking onto them bloody shots. I was kind of thinking, what the hell? But you know what? Listen, this is boxing. You're gonna get, you know, you're gonna get punched, and like you said, he's got a decent chin, and he took the shots well.
Now moving on, news emanating last weekend. Alexander Usyk, the mandatory challenger for the WBO. Would you make of that installment as him being mandatory now? Another blow to Team Body Snatcher?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you know, this has been happening anyway. You know, like we're not surprised by any of this. But you know, there was that ruling. I read this a little while ago that, you know, this was potentially going to occur. So it's not a shock for me anyway. I was just hoping because of the injury and that he was out. You know, if he didn't come back soon enough, you know, by September we'd be in a position to slip in that shot slot and actually get the shot ahead of him. But he's obviously come back and they've sanctioned it, and it's just what it is. We just need to continue preparing, focus on preparation for Ruiz, July the 20th, and not overlook that, get that win, and then look at how the landscape lies, you know, because we don't want to mess about and overlook the kid, you know what I mean? He's a tough, durable kid, he's undefeated, so we need to give him his respect.
This title shot is seeming really elusive at the moment. WBC,
elusive.
WBO now, not happening. Maybe potentially a chance of the IBF if Ruiz gets stripped.
Yeah, that's the angle I'm thinking potentially might be, because you know the IBF you know, was stated that Joshua was meant to defend it by September. Now he's the champion and he's not going to be able to do that because Ruiz has the belt, and Ruiz is going to be fighting Joshua next, so he can't defend. So like they did to Fury, that is a potential that they might strip him. If they do, Puliev's mandatory, so you know, if we can get that fight in the UK, that's definitely a fight my bro Dillian would like to take next, or after the Rivas, you know.
Cracking stuff. So before we conclude, talk to me about this whole debate. Obviously Spencer Ferron, he's mentioned the lack of ethnic diversity within the big companies, the big promoters. Would you make of his comments that there's a lack of diversity?
You know, listen, you can see it for yourself, you know. Spencer's in there, obviously I'm trying to make my way in there somewhat. There's not many ethnic minorities in there, Asians, blacks, whatever you have not. And you know, Spencer's a man who speaks his mind, you know. But I think with everything, as time gets on and progresses, things move forward. Let's hope in the future, you know, things will be a little bit brighter. But like it's been like that. But boxing was predominantly like a white man sport kind of at one stage, you know. And now, if you look, there's a lot of young black boys coming into this sport, coming from the streets and finding a path, finding a lane, as it would be, to get them out of trouble, to get them into a good position, like financially, make them focus. Boxing has done that for a lot of people, not just ethnics, a lot of people. So I mean, like, things change, you know. Right now, you know, I think there's a new dawn hopefully coming, and maybe those guys like Matthew might want to start taking on, you know, more Asians or blacks or whatever in good positions to be like, you know, role models to other people to look up and say, well, this is what I want to do and I want to be like, you know what I mean? So we just have to wait and see, you know what I mean? But kudos to Spence for talking up.
Stepping up, talking up. But I think the message he's trying to get across is, look, this is modern times now. We need to diversify as one race and move forward in general, you know, rather than any segregation.
For sure, for sure. Listen, I think, you know, together, unity is always good, you know what I mean? I think he's done really good, you know, coming from where he's come from and where he is, you know what I mean? So he's in a position to see it and talk from his standpoint and the struggle what he's had getting to where he is now, you know? So, yeah, we hope, let's hope, listen, that 219, 220, you know, they'll make some changes. The voices, what will be, will hear these videos and hear what Spencer's saying and may say, you know, let's give someone a chance and see. You know, there might become that black promoters who might later run down the line might want to be challenging Eddie Hearn, the likes of Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren and so on.
Right, Dean, it's been a pleasure as always, cracking stuff. Before we go, we've got to shout out Tiger Bay Kingsbury for allowing us to chill, politic, chop it up. Team Body Snatcher, Pro Beez, we out here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Pep Talk UK.